Right now at noon, Missouri Governor Parson comes to Southwest Missouri for a ceremonial bill signing.
And temperatures working on warming up will be heating up into the weekend, and some of us even getting a few isolated rain showers. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the state of Missouri implements a new rule for anyone looking to change the gender listed on their driver's license.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
2 police officers are injured when a well-being check escalates in Galena, Kansas. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Authorities responded to a call yesterday afternoon at a home at 11th and Main. When the officers made contact with the man, they discovered he had a warrant. They say before they could detain him, he attacked both officers and cut one with a piece of glass. Injuries to the officer were not life-threatening. They say the man then retreated toward the back of the house, which was surrounded by shrubbery, trees, and junk. Authorities used a backhoe to knock down the fence and clear a path to the back door. 5 officers entered the house after using gas and found the man in a back bedroom where he was taken into custody. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got some cloudy skies out there. We mentioned it was going to be mostly cloudy. They have slowed our warm up, but we're still expected to make the mid and upper 80s across the area. And some of us, even with the clouds, are still on our way there. Mostly cloudy skies from the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Same from our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. And as we head over to Pittsburgh, or just south of KDOT camera 69 Kansas Crossing, you can see no big sunshine out there, just those clouds. We do have some rain showers in parts of southeastern Kansas and down into northeastern Oklahoma, Newada County and Washington County, and then just to the west of Chanute out there. All of this part of these thunderstorms we talked about this morning. They are dying out. They just started to do so a little later in the day, but again, some much needed rain for some of us. Yesterday, another below normal day, starting at 62, making it to 85. We are sitting at 76 in Joplin, 74 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures are again fluctuating. We've got the clouds and the rain. It's kept us low 70s in Kansas, and then we've got mid and upper 70s as you head a little further south and east across the area. We'll continue to clear out, still expected to make at least some mid 80s out there, and skies will become clear as we head through the evening down to the upper 60s by 11 o'clock. We'll have another foliage forecast, talked about the big heat up on the way and some of those pop-up storm chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Missouri residents must now provide more documents when trying to update the gender on their driver's license. A state revenue department policy change now requires residents to provide proof of gender affirming surgery or a court order to update their listed gender to approve the change. Previously, the state just required doctor approval. LGBTQ+ rights advocacy groups have criticized the policy shift as having been done secretly. Missouri Governor Mike Parson makes a stop in McDonald County for a ceremonial bill signing. The bill modifies permit requirements and exemptions related to Missouri fertilizer and clean water laws. The legislation is of special interest to community members in McDonald and Newton County who've expressed concerns about wastewater storage basins, also known as lagoons, in the area.
We don't want this to end up in the water. Or any of the minerals that can't, the heavy metals, the chemicals that can't be absorbed by dirt, taken up by plants or crops.
Despite the legislation passing, organizations like Sludge are remaining active to continue monitoring water safety in the community and bring attention to their concerns. Well, during the bill's signing, a group of McDonald County students got a front row seat to witness the event. For Jonathan Holes and his government class, the event represents more than just a field trip. It's a living lesson. He says many of his students may never have another opportunity to witness a bill signing in person.
I wanted them to be able to experience the cooperation between the two branches. You know, you have the legislation, which obviously creates the bill, and then they have to work it through, which was nice because they talked about going through the representatives and then through the Senate, and then how that bill actually becomes a law by Governor Parson being able to sign it.
That group of diverse students featured members of the high school marching band, cheerleaders, FFA members, JAG members, and students from Pineville Elementary and Pineville Primary Schools. Community members and school officials in McDonald County, Missouri cut the ribbon on a brand new storm shelter at the Rocky Comfort Elementary School yesterday. The newly completed storm shelter, which will also serve as a multi-purpose room, is rated to withstand an EF5 tornado, providing a safe space for students, teachers, and staff. This facility is the only public storm shelter in this part of McDonald County.
Well, not only are we here to educate students, but it's pretty important that we keep them safe. So if we ever have an issue that we need to go to the storm shelter during a school day, we can do that at any time. We're protecting our students, we're protecting our staff, as well as our community.
The new storm shelter is part of a $21.5 million bond issue passed by McDonald County voters. That includes storm shelter construction at 5 other schools across the district. And we have an update on the delayed start of school for Quapaw schools. The district says they have been working nonstop since last Friday evening on cleanup and repairs after the destructive storm that hit Quapaw, Oklahoma. They are working with cleanup and construction crews to safely reopen facilities as quickly as possible. The plan is to begin school for all grades September 3rd. Well, a brother and sister from Quapaw, Oklahoma are creating bracelets for a good cause. Sam and Sophia Ray have spent the last few months selling their creations. But instead of saving the money to use on themselves, they donated the money to a local DAV. Their first donation was $800. Now the two are using the money they're making to create care packages for deployed soldiers from Oklahoma.
It's all the community as well. I mean, they're the ones that come in here and buy them. I have people that have bought multiple. Just the other day, we had a gentleman come in and purchase 20 red, white, and blue.
Wow.
So it's the community as well, and they're supportive.
If you'd like to buy one of the bracelets, you can get one for $2 at the Route 66 Express in Quapaw, or you can go to our website where you can find how to reach the family. The 81st annual Lamar Free Fair is underway this week. Those in attendance are able to enjoy a variety of events, including livestock shows, arts and crafts, parades, concerts, and much more. For first-time exhibitors, it's a new opportunity to show off their skills and hard work.
I just wanted to show because it sounds fun and it's just a good way to just do stuff.
Well, my sister and brother would walk a pig, so my mom and dad said, you're old enough to walk anything, and I chose a pig.
The fair opened yesterday and will run until August 24th. Well, coming up, PSU starts the semester with an emphasis on students' mental health. And later, we're making Mexican cornbread salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Pitt State students will have access to free 24/7 online mental health counseling for the very first time this year. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on how this benefits students.
It's right at your fingertips and available 24/7.
Jack Bandman is a first-year student at Pitt State University that knows how the first time away from your support system and home can take some adjusting.
If you haven't met your people yet, it might be hard you might wake up at night or you might not be able to sleep because you're just stressed out and you don't have anyone to talk to. You might need someone to help you through things, and just someone to talk to can be good. And having that 24/7 is a good thing for students and a good resource.
Anna Cisneros is a senior that remembers how Pitt State's mental health services benefited her when she was a sophomore struggling with stress management.
I was too stressed with classes because my major is construction, so it's like a lot of math, and I wasn't too confident in myself and doing really good with those classes.
Taylor Panzer, the Wellness and Student Advocate Services Coordinator at Pitt State, says this 24/7 online mental health service is especially helpful for students that have busy schedules and limited free time. All students would have to do is access their TELUS app.
They have 5 minutes, they can't get to a therapy appointment, or that's later in the day and they have this big exam, they can quickly go online and chat with someone.
One of the benefits of the online mental health service is that it's offered in Mandarin, Spanish, English, and more, which breaks down barriers for more students, including international students. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Through this service, students can choose phone, video, or chat to speak with a counselor. Missouri Southern State University hosted a community fair yesterday afternoon. Students and non-students had the opportunity to meet, greet, and build relationships with potential employers during and after their college experience. Healthcare operations, insurance companies, and military recruitment operations were there. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Looking for just the right thing to serve your family that promises to get rave reviews? We've got it, and boy, is it picture perfect.
And we are going to be getting pretty darn toasty as we head into the weekend and next week. We'll take a look at that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we were tracking those thunderstorms this morning, and they did begin to fizzle out, but not exactly in the same way some of the model data suggested. But that's all right, because some of us got some additional much needed rain, and we still have a few rain showers out there. So we're going to zoom in a little closer. So Fredonia, some light rain on the north side of you, and then just immediately to the west of Chanute, some light shower activity out there. We had a little further south, some slightly more organized, more moderate rainfall as you get a little further south, say around the Wada, east of Bartlesville, south of Lenapaw. That's really about it, though, unfortunately. All of this was this decent-looking thunderstorm complex that flared up this morning and then just continued southeast. Even this activity that was up around Salina began to dive southeast and fizzle out, and it is continuing to do so. The rest of us still expected to remain dry, but of course, now, as you briefly saw, the model data picking up on that rain, which it did not do so this morning. Heading through the rest of the afternoon, still hanging on the cloudy skies, still going to warm up, but it's going to take a minute for some of us to get to those mid-80s out there. And some of us may be just a pinch cooler than the mid-80s, but we're still going to be in the 80s is the ultimate end of the story here. Then we head into our Friday, and that's when things begin to change. We're going to see temperatures start to climb at or slightly above normal. Again, normal is about 90, so some of us will be right there tomorrow. Some of us will be a little bit warmer than that. But then by Saturday, that's when it's really going to start to heat up, and it's going to remain that way as we head into the next work week as well. Some isolated pop-up showers and storms are still possible for us Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. Unfortunately, with those pop-up showers, the majority of us will remain dry. We'll have a strong south-southeasterly wind, and by 5, take a look at some of these temperatures. We're in the low to mid-90s. We're looking at highs in the mid, possibly even upper 90s on our Saturday across the area. You can see where some of that heavier rain had been because it's had an impact on temperatures for some. So 71 Sedan, Yates Center, 72 in Iola. And then as you get outside of that rain shield, temperatures a bit warmer, a few more mid to upper 70s across the area. So again, through the rest of today, most of us still looking to make about the mid-80s. Some of you will make the upper 80s as was expected, but thanks to the rain that came in, some of our far western counties, Sedan, for example, out in Chautauqua County, may not make the mid-80s. You may make the low 80s. Southeast breeze still at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then the skies will clear out gradually into the afternoon and evening, leaving us clear overnight tonight, falling back into the low 60s. Our Friday could have some clouds here and there, otherwise sunny, hot, at least compared to where we have been, at or slightly above normal as we go into the low 90s. And again, those winds begin shifting out of the south. Once we get past tomorrow, it starts to heat up. We're talking mid, upper 90s, getting close to 100 by next Wednesday. So there's the other side of this coin, of course, is the rain chances, or at least the pop-up storm chances. They feed off the daytime heating. They feed off that moisture. So that means that we're looking at heat index values heading into this weekend, easily pushing 100 degrees, possibly a little above 100 degrees out there. So again, I know I've been saying it, but just drilling the point home. If you have weekend plans, schools next week with outdoor activities or recess, you just want to monitor those heat index values because they could get a little bit on the unpleasant side, to say the least, as we head into the weekend and next week.
Absolutely. It's still August. Just because you're back to school doesn't mean that you still don't have to watch out for heat.
Exactly.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making Mexican cornbread salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is a perfect dish to enjoy on a hot day. Howard is showing us how to make Mexican cornbread salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Over the summer and right through the fall, we're all in search of meals that are quick, easy, and budget friendly. So to help you out, we're sharing a recipe that always earns rave reviews. In fact, it's typically the first dish to go. It must be because it's so different, colorful, and downright delicious. We begin by crumbling about 6 corn muffins. You can either bake these yourself or Pick them up at your Market's Bakery. We'll layer half of these in the bottom of a large glass bowl. On top of that goes a layer of pinto beans that we've rinsed and drained, followed by a layer of chopped green peppers in our homemade ranch dressing. And it doesn't stop there. Some thawed corn goes on next, followed by chopped tomatoes, bacon, and the rest of the crumbled corn muffins. Right before serving, we finish it off with more dressing, some shredded Mexican cheese blend, and a handful of sliced scallions. If this doesn't say come and get it, then I don't know what does. It's colorful, it's tasty, and it feeds the crowd. And no one will ever know how budget-friendly and easy it is to make. To get the recipe for our Mexican cornbread salad, simply visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a stacked fiesta way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can, of course, find this recipe for Mexican cornbread salad along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, still below normal for most of us today. Then we'll go at or a bit above normal tomorrow. Heat really takes off through the weekend and next week, mid-upper 90s. Some isolated storm chances Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Still watching a system, though, toward the end of next week. That could bring us some slightly better rain chances and maybe some cooler temperatures again. But between now and then, we've got to watch that heat, got to watch those heat index values, as they'll very easily be reaching 100 degrees again.
It is August after all.
It is August. It's never fun, but hey, you know, it's here. And Dalvin, our first tonight.
A lot's coming up at 5. For starters, building a home can be expensive and time-consuming, but some construction companies are now using 3D technology to build homes faster. We're going to hear from one of those companies about how the process uses fewer workers and creates homes that are more friendly to the environment. It's really interesting. Plus, the Economic Security Corporation and the city of Joplin joined forces to reestablish its homeowner rehabilitation program. And a Pittsburgh jeweler is raising awareness about scammers trading gold rings and chains for cash in the area. You don't want to fall for it. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today, KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dal. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.